What's up, Nova Heads? It's Amber Nova.
This is Chris Lights Out Lytle.
Hi, this is Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Ice Boogie.
It's the real and raw August Artois.
This is Smiling Sam Alvey.
It's Archimedes.
I'm Jack Cartwheel, the real deal, the human highlight reel.
This is Steve Mowry.
I'm Victor Henry.
Floyd Bulletproof Trooper.
Billy Stark.
It's ECW Original, The Enforcer, C.W. Anderson.
This is Honest John.
Hyper Street. I'm
Luis Moreno. And
it's Mr. Classic.
And Sadino.
I'm Jason Punet.
The young ghost.
It's old Howdy Price here.
When I say what's my name, Snipes.
Richie Slade.
My name is Gino Rivera, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia.
The incredible one, Anthony Idol.
This is Ken Shamrock.
The Golden Boy, Jordan Clearwater.
Yo, watch and listen.
Championship Online.
Podcast with this is Alex Mars here. Hi, Richard Modest.
So, please listen to it, otherwise be cursed. Okay, see you later. Love that, Dennis.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are now watching and listening to Championship Online Podcast. If you're new to the channel, my name is Alex. And today is a very, very special episode here at Championship Online because we got a pro wrestler in the house tonight. Also a bodybuilder. He's been killing it in the ring in California. You may have seen him at New Series Pro Wrestling, Traditional Wrestling Entertainment, OCCW, Misfits Wrestling United, and so much many more. And ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to have him. Very excited to have him. He is the Mecca of bodybuilding, Mr. Inferno Abdul Kader, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. I'm happy to have you on.
My pleasure.
Very, very excited to have you on. And before we start, Inferno, we like to do a quick segment on the pod where we ask 10 fun questions about yourself. Is that cool to do with you?
Go for it. Go for it.
All right. First fun question is, what is your favorite movie of all time?
Ooh. Okay. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. You're fast with that one. Usually takes
that's my go-to. That one and Space Jam are like my two top go-tos. Yeah.
Original Space Jam or the new Space Jam?
Original. Absolutely.
Did you watch the new one?
I did watch the new one. It didn't live up to the hype of the first one, unfortunately. No.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. A lot of people, it wouldn't match. I know a lot of people are very disappointed, but it is what it is, fortunately. And
love the merchandise though.
Yeah, the merchandise was fire. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, with the second question, what is your favorite TV show of all time?
Oof. The first season of Westworld.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Anthony Hopkins, and I love, like, Michael Crichton is one of my favorite authors. He's the same author who did also Jurassic Park, and he also wrote Westworld. So I love that kind of world where, man attempts to control an artificial intelligence or an artificial life of some sort, but somehow the laws and natures are, greater than the capacity of man's control, and it gets out and becomes its own thing. Like, I love stories like that.
Nice. And Anthony Hopkins is a good actor, so can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Awesome. With the third question, do you have a favorite band or music artist you like to listen to?
Ooh, I'm an oldies guy. Even when I was growing up, like, I listened to a lot of old school artists. Gosh, there's just so many to choose from. I want to say Linkin Park.
Okay, nice.
Like, from the 90s up until now, like, they have a little bit of everything in their music. And their songs have a catchy vibe and story to them. And it's like I could turn on Bad Habit and still jam out to it like it's the first time I'm listening to it, or Numb or Headstrong. Yeah. I mean, even their new stuff is just phenomenal too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And especially, if you could pick out a song, what would be your favorite Linkin Park song?
Say Castle of Glass.
Oh, okay, nice.
That one's got a really nice build up to it, and it's got a really it ends on a good note. It just doesn't abruptly stop. And the music video is really it sucks you in. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I love Linkin Park. So the new stuff, the old stuff.
Yeah,
can't go wrong with all of it's great. Awesome. With the next question, what is your favorite meal you like to eat?
Ooh, okay. I'm a buffet guy, believe it or not. I love going to those East Asian buffets that they have around the county, and just jamming on all the sushi they got, and all the kung pao chicken, and beef and broccoli. It's just my cheat meal of the week.
Nice.
When I have the time for it, just sit down and actually enjoy everything they have to offer. That's my go-to. I'm a huge seafood guy, so it hits the spot with all you can eat sushi.
Nice. Can't go wrong with buffets, man. So many options, choices, man.
Yeah.
Why settle one if you can have all of them?
For sure.
Nice. With the next one, I don't know if you're into sports, but if you are, do you have a favorite sports team?
I grew up playing basketball in high school. And I want to say Lakers. I'm not religious with my sports. I don't have jerseys. I don't sit down and watch, but if I'm at the gym and I'm hitting upsets and whatnot, and they've got the Laker game on, I'll watch and see what's going on. Or if they have the Rams playing, Rams and 49ers for football, I dig those two teams. Anything that's California, I try to support. And I'll sit there and watch, and just the stuff they do is tremendous. Their athleticism and their speed and their power and everything.
Absolutely. Nice. And then the next one, I don't know if you're a gamer, but if you are, do you have a favorite video game?
Dude, huge gamer. I grew up when the N64 first came out, so for me, Mario Kart, Pokemon Stadium, Super Smash Bros, Star Fox 64, Super Mario 64, those are my jams. And then PS2 was a huge chunk of my life, the Resident Evil games, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy. Favorite game? I want to say Final Fantasy X.
Okay, nice. Awesome.
That was the game that took me a minute. I was invested in it. I was invested in the story, and it's you legit are on this episodic series of events until when it ended, I was oh, it's done. What do I do with my life now? Being 13,
yeah,
that's it. I gotta find something to do after school.
Yeah, those games are classics. The ones you just mentioned, you can't go wrong with those. But for sure, with the next one, you have a favorite drink?
Drink? What do you mean by drink?
Just favorite drink, your go-to drink.
Go-to drink. I love a good Arnold Palmer.
Oh yeah.
Lemonade is my go-to anywhere I go. It's if they have a solid lemonade, I'm all for it. But a nice black iced tea with lemonade, that's my jam on a hot day.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then with the next 8th question, before your match, do you have a ritual do you like to do before you step in the ring?
I do. My ritual is drinking almost half a bottle of Gatorade and then half a bottle of water. And it's always half. I don't know why. It's just the thing that made sense and still makes sense. and then just doing a bunch of dynamic stretching, and then just kind of walking around. And I'm a huge advocate for like visioning and seeing yourself doing stuff, seeing yourself, accomplishing goals and whatnot. So it's just me kind of pacing and just visualizing myself being out there, visualizing the crowd, visualizing the match, visualizing myself taking the hits, dishing out the hits, and then just visualizing myself coming back and undressing and putting my normal clothes back on and all that stuff. And a lot of just deep breathing, because some matches I'm just like all nerves. I'm like, oh dude, like I'm facing this person today. Oh my God. Like, I hope to God the ropes aren't loose. I hope to God, the boards are all in place. Like any little thing that I can think of that could possibly be out of place, I'm like praying to God it's in place.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it, man. Just mentally prepared and just ready, mentally and physically, and and seeing the match. I love that, which is awesome. And seeing yourself in the ring, what you do in the ring, it's amazing. So I'm a big fan of what you do in the ring and outside too. So, awesome. I love it. And especially with the next one, outside of wrestling, which I might know the answer, but outside of wrestling, do you have a hobby do you like to do?
I got a couple. I like reading. I try to do that every day. And I like going to the movies. That's like my treat after a long week. If a good movie's playing, I like going to the movie and just kind of treating myself to some snacks and just going on the journey of the story that they're playing on the big screen. And I like going for walks, like anywhere I can go, like whether it's the Orange Circle or Huntington Beach, Main Street, and just walking around and just taking in the world and not really having to think. Because I'm always like thinking, okay, I got bookings to look at. I got to do graphic design for this person. I got to, get my workout in. I got to go and call this person about this promotion. So just being able to just walk around and try different coffee shops is like my nice escape for me.
Nice. I love it. It sounds relaxing.
Thank you.
I love it. And then with the last fun question, if you could have a match, with someone that isn't a wrestler, you cannot pick a wrestler. You could pick a celebrity, you could pick a sports athlete, you could pick a character from a movie, game show, TV show. Who would it be? Who would you step in the ring with?
A match with someone who's not a wrestler. Let's see. Gosh, I'm trying to think. I can't remember the character's name. I would totally be down to wrestle Arnold Schwarzenegger from Last Action Hero, that version of him. with like the movie magic that comes with him.
Yeah.
That would be really fun, and to see if that would apply to me being in the same space as him. Like, could we take crazy amounts of damage and do crazy stuff and like throw each other through walls and like body slam each other into the concrete and like actually break the concrete and whatnot? That'd be really fun. And just like constant one-liners. Yeah.
So it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, right? No DQ.
It probably would be, and like. I think it would be a normal one fall match, but given like the movie rules that he lives in, like it would end up being an unannounced Falls Count Anywhere match.
Nice.
Yeah.
And who's going over?
Shit, beats me. I hope he can last as long against me.
Nice. I love it. Arm switching. That would be cool, especially like that movie and the character. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I love it. And again, everyone, thank you so much for being on. Very
no problem. No problem.
And I want to first start off, kind of like your introduction to pro wrestling. Like, how did you first find out of the world of pro wrestling? Like, was it a family member? Or did you kind of find out on your own? Like, how did you first get introduced?
It started with So my brothers, I have 3 younger brothers. My mom would take them to Saturday school. So she was there all day with them. So I would hang out with my dad at his shop, and like I grew up with like the bunny ears on the TV. So it was like 5, 6 channels that worked, and one of them was channel 13. And what they had at the time was Bottom Line, which was the Saturday afternoon recap of Monday Night Raw. And so I started watching it through that, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting. Like, I'm digging it. And then like through the commercials on Bottom Line, they're like, oh, Friday Night SmackDown on UPN 13. So I was like, cool. Like, I have bunny ears at home, so I'll tune in on Fridays. And I was hooked afterwards. Like I started watching in the era when Rey Mysterio won the world title, and he had his feud with Randy Orton and Kurt Angle and Mark Henry and Batista. Batista was out with an injury at the time. So like for that whole year, just watching those group of guys like go at it was just like, holy cow. And then ECW came back at that time, and that blew my mind away even more. Especially with the ECW One Night Stand, like how Paul Heyman just came out and I was like, they could do that? Like, isn't there rules? Like, I was just like obsessed. Like, how could he just come out? Oh, Extreme Rules, so anyone can be a referee. Oh my God, okay, that's cool. That's crazy. So pretty much after that, I was just like watching it religiously until I went to college, and I kind of was just checking in on it here and there. So I was just so caught up with school and whatnot. That's essentially how I got into it.
Which is a great time, yeah, especially because that's like Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
Especially when on ECW coming in, it was a really good time. Because I grew up around that time, and just watching it was just, awesome time in wrestling with all the promotions, everything happening. And growing up, like, who was your favorite wrestler?
Gosh, there's so many guys. I really appreciated Kurt Angle in the 2006, 2005 chapters of his career. Like, he just had that fire. He just had that aggression. Like, he didn't care who he was wrestling. Like, he would just grab him and throw him. And that was just like, whoa. Like, he wasn't the biggest guy. He wasn't the tallest guy, but he wasn't small either. But he had like this edge to him of like, if we're stepping in the ring, like either I'm going to, keep slamming you until you don't get up, or I'm just going to like break your ankle and you tap out. So pick one. How do you want to go? And like, I remember my fondest memories of me just losing my mind and popping was like, Mark Henry would be beating on Rey Mysterio, and Mark Henry's like standing over him, like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Out of nowhere, just Kurt Angle, boom, German to this 400-pound guy. And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, that is insane. Or he would like angle slam him like nobody's business. I'd be like, you're crazy. Like, you're back, homie. What's going on? Like, all those things were going through my mind at like 15, 16. But like, that's what I looked forward to. I was like, I want to see him slam Undertaker again. I want to see him slam Mark Henry again.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, especially like the career he had and what he did in WWE, and especially even after that going to TNA. And
TNA, yeah.
Which is crazy. Even those matches he put on were, all-star matches and Impact and in Japan.
For sure.
So the career he's had, it's been amazing just to watch him. And also too, like, what's been like your favorite as a fan? Like, what's been your favorite wrestling moment? Like watching it live on TV.
Favorite wrestling moment. I think it was 2005 Survivor Series, and it was Angle versus Cena. And I think Angle had the title at that time. And Cena was trying to get it back, and Daivari just kept cheating, and like Cena would get the upper hand, but then like they would distract the ref or knock out the ref or something. And I think like my favorite moment in that match was that final attitude adjustment where Cena catches Angle, and then boom, 1, 2, 3, and I just like popped as a kid. I was like, yes, finally, because I was losing it. I was like, dude, like, someone get Daivari out of here. Like, that belt, like, stop cheating. Like, why do you need to cheat, Angle? What's the deal? Like, you're you're a capable fighter. And like finally when Cena got that, and like Cena's attitude adjustments were just, it was like a roller coaster to watch. Like you were like feeling the move as he was doing it, because he would pick them up and he would just like arc them over perfectly. Boom, 1, 2, 3. It's like always like here it comes, woo! Like always had me going along for that ride.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, especially I don't know. It's just something about just that era too. I mean, I think with all the matchmaking and the storytelling, I mean, just couldn't beat it. You know, just everything he did at that time was amazing. Cena, you know, Angle was just really great, and you know, as you can see behind me, there's a lot of figures.
Yeah, I noticed.
As a fan,
it's really cool.
Oh, thank you. You know, as a fan, did you collect the figures or play the video games?
No, I played the video games. I was more of a t-shirt guy. Like I collected the t-shirts.
Ooh, yeah.
So like, and those meant something because it's like, A, they were expensive, and like as a 15-year-old kid, like getting your mom to buy you a $25 t-shirt or a $35 t-shirt of a wrestler, like you had to earn that, you know, where it's like, why am I going to pay? I can go to Target and get you like 6 shirts for 25. Why? No, it just came out. It's the only print. Like it's gonna run out. So that was kind of my thing, collecting the wrestler t-shirts and like getting them in bigger sizes so I could still wear them today.
Oh yeah, especially t-shirts at the time too were so big, and you know it was like, oh, limited edition. We're only making this much.
Yeah,
it'll be this store. You know, which was awesome at the time, and then also bring it to school too. Like wearing t-shirt, repping your favorite wrestler was always
for sure.
Especially too, like when you went to school. Like I don't know if this happened to you, but like I feel like wrestling fans didn't get like a good look in school.
Like I had a couple of kids in my classes who were into wrestling. But like for the most part, just a lot of kids were just you know, talk their smack and speak their mind. Like, why do you watch that stuff? It's all boring. It's just guys in their underwear. And it's like, but you know, you like watching your Beast Wars and Transformers, and I mean nothing against them. But I like watching athletes, you know, fight for title belts and throw each other over tables and whatnot. Like that's my choice of entertainment to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. You like what you like. I like what I like. You know,
for sure.
But you know, especially you know, being a fan and watching this for all these years. When did like the time come and you kind of realize like this is what I want to do and this is you know, the business I want to be in? Like when did you decide that you want to take it serious and become a professional wrestler?
Like I wanted to be a wrestler when I was 15, and like I had no idea how I was going to do it at the time, but I was like, man, like this is something I want to do. And then like throughout college and throughout like my bodybuilding years, like again, like I would still watch it. I would go check, you know, oh, Brock Lesnar came back. That's cool. Let me see how that's going. Oh, let me watch this match with Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. Oh, let me see how, you know, the fight with Cena and Lesnar is going and stuff like that. I think for me, it was October 2017 when No Mercy came to the Staples Center, and I was like I got that weekend free. Tickets are doable. Like I think I paid like $200 for a ticket. So I was like, that's not, you know, I don't have to pay for parking. I'll just park on the street and walk to the Staples Center. And at the time I was bodybuilding, so I was like, I don't have to worry about buying food. Like I meal prepped, and like when I went to the gate, like, oh, you can't bring this inside. I was like, look, dude, I'm a bodybuilder. Like I can't be eating popcorn and you know $2 cheese pizza. So no, okay, fine, just you know, it's okay. And the moment like that really lit me up was when I was walking to my seat outside of the arena, like how it curves. Like they had a dark match going and someone slammed someone and it was boom. And I just felt everyone like cheer. And when that happened, I like stopped. I was like, screw my seat. I walked in through like whichever gate, and I stood like in the hallway just watching. And I was like, no, I could do this. Like I gotta try this. Okay, I gotta find my seat now. And like watching the whole show and just seeing it in live, I was like, okay, no, for sure. Like we got to figure this out. And then I went, I like Googled schools, and Santino's came up, and they were having the beginner's course like 2 months after like January 2018. So I bought everything, and I was like, let's go, like, let's see what happens. And the rest is history.
Mm-hmm. And talking about that time, saying that, you're doing bodybuilding, when did that come into your life? Like, when did bodybuilding, when you started doing it, when did that come up?
I think I was 24 when I started bodybuilding, and it was like in the middle of I think the middle of July, in the middle of Ramadan, and I was fasting, and like all I wanted to do was just go to the gym and work out. And I was watching a documentary with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was talking about his bodybuilding days and the things that he did. And I just had the idea, and I was like, well, like I Googled his stats, and it's like, arms were 22 inches, quads were 24, chest was 36. And I was like, well, I'm like, how big am I? So like I pulled out like a measuring tape. I started like wrapping it around my arm, and I was like, oh, like he's got 5 inches on me. That's not too, oh, he's got 2 inches on me here. And I was like, dang, like I'm almost as big as this guy. So like, that's when I was like, let me go into bodybuilding. And like, as soon as Ramadan was over and fasting was done, like I had gone down to Venice Beach and signed up at the Gold's Gym. And like I walked in there, and I was just like, whoa, like completely different atmosphere. Like it wasn't commercial. It wasn't people just, working out because they had to. It was like people who wanted to like look their best, and like just massive bodybuilder after bodybuilder. And like everyone just serious and grunting. And I was like, this is it, let's do it. And I think for 3 years, I did that, like nothing but just living, eating, breathing, bodybuilding, like 5-6 meals a day. Like even when I wasn't hungry, like, nope, gotta eat this, like going to the gym twice a day, like 6 days a week. Like it was miserable. Like I appreciated the entire process of it.
But it worked, because watching the ring and how big you are, I'm like, man. Because the first time I watched you, I was like, man, this guy's jacked and big, and it helped, because to see you out there in the ring and doing all that. Like, how much did it help? Kind of going to wrestling school and training in Santino, like how much?
It helped. Like the professional wrestling business, it's a very visual sport, and it's a lot of posters, it's a lot of still shots. So when wrestlers are in top physical condition, like that's what catches the eye. And every top wrestler in the sport, is built, is conditioned, is trimmed. But like I think my first year was tough, because like, yes, I was big and jacked, but like my body wasn't used to performing as a wrestler. It wasn't conditioned for wrestling. It was conditioned for bodybuilding. So going to the gym, picking stuff up, doing multiple reps, multiple sets. So I really had to like develop like not a new sense, but like almost new muscle for professional wrestling. And not like in sense of gains, but like my shoulders were really sore in the first 6 months of like having to do flag outs 20 times, a class, or having to pick a person up and body slamming them 20 times a class. And it's like, okay, like you got them up the first time, but like doing it, like your body was getting exhausted. And like now, because I've been doing it for a while, like my strength is different. The way my body functions is different. When I hit certain moves, my body takes them better. Where before, like I would throw like 12 clotheslines for practice, I'm like, God, my arm feels like it's gonna fall off. Like, what the heck? Or like 12 tackles back and forth, like my shoulder feels like it's gonna pop. And now that my body has developed that tolerance and that comfort, it's way more easier.
Oh yeah, and especially going in there and going to Santino's, like, what was it like, kind of like taking your first bumps, and also kind of like learning from the coaches and working with, with them? Like, what was it like? It was the first time.
It was very military, and I liked that. it wasn't, well, today we feel like doing this, so let's try this. It was like there was a map, and it's like we were gonna follow it. And if we were all falling behind, it's like, cool, we're gonna pause, we're gonna focus on what we're not getting right now and what we're lacking on, and then we're gonna move forward. But like every class was a drill. And like a well put together, well thought out drill. Like nothing was just on a whim. It was like, all right, everyone, like every day for the year and a half that I was there, every day we had to run like 4 laps in that parking lot. That was our warm up, and then come in and do our rolls however they were led. And then afterwards it was, you know, the squats and the push-ups and the drills in the ring. And then we had to run, you know, certain moves and techniques until we A, like did them properly, and B, like we start adding our own, you know, personalities and quirks to them. Like, and I love and admire that about Santino, is like nothing was done on the fly. Nothing was done on, it was all like, okay, like they would pull out the clipboard, cross off, like week 1 is done, week 2 is done, week 3, you know, we're learning DDTs and we're doing 500 squats, like every class. And like we left just banged up, like we were done. 3 nights a week, like we would just like, we'd get up like old men and they would laugh at us. But it's like, again, that's where the new conditioning was coming in, where like my body wasn't used to that, and it slowly began to adjust and adopt.
And who did you work more like, who did you work more with coaching wise? Like was it with you know, Chaos, or was Robbie? Like who did you work more with?
Majority of the time it was Robbie Phoenix, bless his heart, and Tyler Bateman. Joey would come in. Joey was more focused on recording content. But he definitely, when he did give us like critiques and insight, like just nuggets of gold, like he really knew, like he knows his craft. You know, he is where he is because of his skill and his wisdom, and he would just break things down in a very easy and tangible way for us to understand and absorb.
And also too, Santinos are known for the incredible alumni they have.
Yeah.
Their school. And was there times that they brought in guys to work out with you?
I'm trying to remember. Like throughout my time there, I know Guy Cool would come in and he would help us train. Brody King would come in and help us train. Big Haas would come in. Jesse James would come in. Trying to think. Kodo Hero, Charming Biagio. Those guys would come in like every other week or once a month at least. And, you know, whatever we were doing, they would run it with us.
And working with those guys, working with like the staff and the coaches, what's been like the best advice that you have received, you know, about the business?
I think the one thing all of them preached in a collective was being open to feedback and being open to just listening, like whether you agree with the person or not, but just having the humility and the open mind to listen to someone who's been in the business longer than you. And if they tell you, hey, you know, I saw your match, you could have done this different, you know, you could have saved this move for this time, or this move wasn't right for this particular match in this particular crowd. It kind of felt wasted. And I've seen a lot of guys just not want to take feedback or listen at least to other people giving them their opinions. And like, I feel all you guys, like, just listening doesn't cost you anything. Just, you know, thank you so much for your opinion. I appreciate your time. Like I till this day, like I have guys who have been in the game for 10, 15, 20 years, like pull me aside, be like, hey, I was watching something you did, and do this instead and see how that works. I'm like, yeah, dude, thank you so much. Thank you so much, you know, or hey, your kick, throw it higher, or your back, arch it more when you suplex someone. Oh, for sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. And like, you go back and you look at what they were talking about and you're like, oh, like totally right. Okay, cool. So I'm a huge believer, no matter what stage you are in professional wrestling, like always listen, always. Like I'm probably known for and I've had this told to me, like just annoyingly always asking people for feedback, like annoyingly. And it's like, any feedback, any feedback, any feedback. And like 5 minutes later, oh, I want to go. Any feedback though? Any feedback? Like, give me anything that I can take with me to, you know, polish up my game even better.
Oh yeah, which is, I think it's the, you know, one of the best things a wrestler can do, because it's like you listen to feedback and just kind of learning to get better and to improve.
Yeah,
you know, which is so important. And there's probably a lot of guys that don't like to hear that, but I think it's a good thing because it just makes you better. And it's just listening to feedback and listening to the reviews and the comments, it's just gonna make you better.
Yeah.
But you know, which is the great thing you do, and also like kind of, you know, going and training, like, you know, having time there. Was there any footage that you kind of watch on wrestlers that you like to kind of get inspiration for your ring style? Was there like a lot of that going on?
I mean, for me at the time when I was with Santino's, they recommended me watch like a lot of the bigger guys. Nikita Koloff. I'm trying to think who else. I think Mark Henry was one of them they recommended. I can't remember. It's been so long. But just they wanted me to be the big powerhouse. And then when I left, like years afterwards, I started watching like New Japan wrestlers, more of the indie guys, and trying to put together a style that isn't just solely based on power moves. Especially when I started facing bigger guys like T-Rex and Tim Banks and you know, Joe Dredd. Like the first line of offense can't be like a big power move. Like there needs to be some in between and some build up to finally be able to get that move locked and loaded and then executed. So a lot of boxing. I started watching a lot of boxing just to work on my handwork, to get back into that, and just a lot of different kicks, like any kind of kicks that I know I could do for a guy my size and that I could practice safely. Like I started practicing those more, and a few times I kind of sucked because I would land on my shoulder and I'm like, nope, that's not working. Nope, I'm gonna feel that in the morning. But the key, I guess, in all that was not thinking about it and just like throwing the kick, or, you know, diving off. Like diving off the second and top rope was scary for me in the beginning. And I remember in like training, they're like, stand up, just stand there. And it's like it's not a high space.
No.
But when you get up there and you kind of like stand and you have to like be mindful of your feet, because if you move, you're gonna fall. All of a sudden it's like, oh, and now I gotta jump. Okay, let me reconsider this real quick. Like, can I just do an elbow off the ropes? Like just run, hit the ropes, drop an elbow. But after, like, as soon as that fear was like, you know, faced and dealt with, it was like, cool. Like now I could do that. Now I can go off the top rope and hit an elbow drop, or I can go off the top rope and do a frog splash. You know, if the need is there and the opponent calls for it, cool. Like let's rock and roll.
Oh yeah, and especially, you know, studying also and studying video and wrestlers, but also kind of being a student at Santino's and doing promos. Like, what was that kind of like? Was that a lot they did in Santino's, and if yes, like how comfortable were you doing promos for the first time, or was it something that kind of took time to kind of, grab
Oh,
you?
dude, like my promos in the beginning were like, oof, not the best. We probably didn't start. I want to say like maybe in the last part, like when we were semi-pro, because it was amateur, intermediate, semi-pro, and then you became. Yeah, no, we were doing promos maybe twice a month. It wasn't my best feature, and I was kind of like anti-promo. I was like, nah, this is annoying. I don't want to do them anymore. But later on down the line, when I Fist Combat, Dirty Ron was the one who forced me to grab the mic and start cutting promos. And I was like, no, like I don't want to know, like I'm good. And he's like, and he would like, have the guy pass me the mic, and so you just had the talk on the fly. And because of him, like I developed that comfort and that ability to listen to the crowd and the people and get them hyped up and get them, engaged in the show and whatnot. So he definitely helped me with the entertainer aspect of my craft, and being able to just grab the mic and comfortably just spit out, 2-3 minutes of solid smack talk and get everyone crazy. Like, all right, ring the bell, let's dance, let's boogie. That's something I just had to learn, like being in the field and being in the work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And also talk to me about, like, what was it like, finishing training and becoming a pro wrestler and making your debut? Like, what was it like coming out for the curtains for the first time and just seeing the crowd and just seeing everything? What was it like doing that for the first time, making a debut?
It was surreal, because it was like, okay, like this is it. Like as soon as I walk past this curtain, like now I'm free to go. I'm free to go anywhere I want and take all the bookings that I want. And then there's a part of you that goes, oh, like how do I get bookings? How do I get on this show? How do I get on that show? But like my first match was stellar, and I remember people telling me like, oh, that it was really good. It didn't look like you had just debuted. It looked like you were doing this for at least a few months or so. But after the match was done and I finished my debut match, like there was like a huge sense of accomplishment. Like I didn't even want to get out of my gear. I was like, no, I'm going to keep this stuff on a little longer. Like it's not dirty enough. Like, let me just walk around. Let me go talk to the fans. And I still get that feeling till today. Like when I go out there and I have a good match and everything gels the way it should, it's like cool. Like I'm just gonna chill. Like I'm not gonna take off my gear right now. I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna enjoy the sweat. I'm gonna enjoy the dirt all over me. Like this was a good night.
Oh yeah, and especially making debut, and then also like what you've done from there, from now, wrestling for all these promotions and winning, championships for these promotions. What was it like, winning your first belt and winning your first title? Like, tell me back, what was that feeling like?
It was very, how do I say, like it wasn't a relief, but it was like throughout the whole day, I remember like I was helping set up everything and patching up everything that was out of place, and like helping the fans in and making sure people were getting their tickets. But like I was on edge all day. I was like, oh man, the show's about to start. Okay, show's starting. Oh man, match 1. Okay, match 2. Oh man, okay, match 3. Okay, I should change now. I should get in my clothes. Okay, match 4. All right, half a bottle of Gatorade. Look, half a bottle of water. Okay, cool. Like, get on your gear. Okay, do I have my shoes? Yes, perfect. I have my tape. Okay, should I do a lot of tape? Should I do a little tape? I was like, oh snap, match 5. Okay, cool. We're up after this? Okay, cool. So okay, let's stretch. All right. And then like finally, like when the bell rung, it's so funny because like 90% of my matches, like I'm on like butterflies. Oh, match 1. Oh, match 2. Oh, drink the mic. Okay, go. But as soon as the bell rings, like all that just goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, I want to say time slows down, but it's also moving at the same time. Like it's so trippy to describe it. And it's like when I go back and watch my matches, I'll be like, that was happening. What the heck? Like that person was saying this. What the heck? But I remember like I had gotten tossed out of the ring for TWE. And it was a fatal 4-way. And Ramrock, who was in it, and Red Spider and Chaz, they had teamed up on me, thrown me out of the ring. So I was catching my breath, and then they were all going at each other. And then all of a sudden, like I look up and I just see Spider and Chaz flying over the top rope. All good.
Cool. And talking about those and talking about winning those titles and also like all the matches that you've had in your career, what's been the most memorable or your favorite match so far in your career?
I want to say my feud with Azrael, like winning the OCCW belt off of him in November was a lot more meaningful and a lot more personal and a lot more satisfying, only because him and I have been going back and forth for the whole year.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time I would get close to catching him, his guys would come out and disqualify the match, or he would hit me with a belt, or he would low blow me. Like it was always something. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to find another way to come get you. And I think finally he came to the point where he was like, you know what? It's you and me, no one else. I'm tired of this. I'm going to beat you. And I was like, that's what it should have been like in March, homie. But okay, cool. Like we can dance again. I'm all for it. And like when I finally beat him, like I was like on the verge of like jumping up and down like a little kid, but also on the verge of just like straight tears because my family was there, so that was more meaningful to me. And like I wanted my father and mother to see me in my element, and I wanted them to see me, win a championship. And like all night I'm just praying like, please God, no cheating. Please God, like no backup coming in. Like I hope the referee doesn't get knocked out. Like I hope nobody, looks the other way and I get knocked in the cojones or something, like no belt shots to the head. Like I don't know if you could see it, but he caught me with the OCC belt one time and like just straight like blood down my face. But yeah, like that was my favorite feud, and that match in November was my favorite. Like we really went all out. Like he curb stomped me. I think I was like on the ground outside and I was trying to get up and he curb stomps me, like boom, just crushes my head into the hard tile. And I'm like, all right, you got to get up. Like it's 3 seconds. And my brain's thinking, you got 7 more seconds. Take your time. And I was like, yeah, but they're going pretty fast on me. Let's start moving. All right, it's 6. Let's get up. And like the floor was wet. So I was like, oh, great. We're slipping. We can't get up. It's 8. Like we need to do something now. And he's like, no, just, I remember he got mad at Freddie Havoc, who was the referee. He's like, today, Havoc, today, 9-10. Freddie's like, no. And like, we did it. I was like, cool. That's like 3 seconds spot right there. Whoop, jumped right in. I kept going.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. That feud, man, just man, that's crazy. And just to have that, especially to have that with someone too, just to share that in the ring and to kind of have that feud is pretty cool and amazing to see that in the ring. And especially, one person I wanted to talk about who's been in the podcast in the past, but you've had a match with, you wrestled Brandon Gatson. So take me back to like have wrestling him and have a match with him.
Oh, dude, phenomenal. He's He's where he's at because of one, he's a tremendous gentleman outside of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He always brings in good energy wherever he goes. He's very well put together. The guy looks great. And then being in the ring, like he had me on my toes all the time. And he has like this thing he does, like when I watch back, like it's like these little ninja hits you don't see coming. Like he'll give you a big punch and you're like, boom. And then like as you're turning and you're looking at him, it's like swipe out of nowhere, boom. It's like, where did that come from? Like I saw the first one, and just his because I think he has a gymnastics background and just his athleticism. Like anytime I was like thrown outside of the ring, I was like, great, he's gonna flip like 100 feet in the air, and God help me if I can catch him and try to break his fall, or I'm just gonna get squashed. And like 9 out of 10, like he'll land right on top of me. I'm like, nope, that was bad. I should have just moved that the way. Why did I do that? But he pushed me, like working. I think it was up until July of this year. Yes, January up until July of this year, like wrestling him and having our promos and having our run-ins. He brought out a much more competitive side in me, because he wasn't 5'5", he wasn't 5'7", he wasn't like 170. He's damn near 6 foot, like 230, 250 of solid muscle that could backflip like nobody's business. So I had to really get more aggressive with them, and I had to really pull out more stops and learn more suplexes. Like, okay, he's gonna see the normal suplex coming, he's gonna see the sidewalk slam coming. What could I do? Okay, belly to belly, T-bone. Let me hang him on the rope and do a knee drop. My favorite match was my first match with him from this year, and then my last match with him when we had a false count anywhere in the OB Wrestle House. And I remember I went to choke slam him outside on the ground. He like spins out of my hand. So I push him into the wall and he stops, and I go to get him. He just catches me with a kick and I'm just out. And then for him, like I look back at the footage, like he sets up a ladder, climbs up this 30-foot ladder and just elbow drops right into my sternum. And I'm like, all right, we can get up. We're fine. We can get up. And like, not even as soon as I start to sit up, just boom, all this weight down. I was like, nope, we're done. There is no Fist Combat title coming home with me tonight. And I'm okay with that. It took a 50-foot elbow drop to keep me down. Put it in the books. I'm cool with that.
Oh yeah. Especially when I saw the announcement you guys were wrestling and watching the videos and everything. It's like, live up to the hype, man. What you guys were able to do in the ring was amazing. And hopefully we can see that again in the future. Is that a match that you want in the future?
Not that I know of now, but like I'm definitely open to it. And like the circle down here is really tight, so sooner or later, like we'll cross paths again, whether he's gonna come for my belts or I'm gonna go for him. Like I think he just won the ASCW belt, bless his heart, and well deserved. So there's opportunities out there. Either I go for his gold or he comes for mine. I mean, my door's open. I got nothing but love and respect for him, and it's like, hey man, let's do another dance.
Oh yeah. Oh, hopefully it happens, man. I'm fingers crossed, man. Hopefully it happens.
Yeah.
But especially now, what are your goals? What promotions would you like to wrestle? Independent promotions, like where would you like to be at?
Definitely my goals. I want to wrestle more experienced guys than me. I want to be in matches where I'm out of my element, if that makes sense. And I want to be in matches where it's like, man, okay, like I'm looking forward to defending my OCC belt against Mikey O'Shea in January, because that's out of my element. Like O'Shea is a tank. Like,
oh yeah,
I can't just pick him up and body slam him. I can't just suplex him. And on top of all that, 13, 15 years of wrestling experience. It's like, okay, this is out of my element. Like either I master missile drop kicks like nobody's business, and I master, top rope hurricanranas, or I got to get really good at my punches and jabs. Like we got to think of something here. That's one. And then two, I would love to keep working with PCW Arizona. The crew out there is spectacular. Like nothing but guys who want to see you succeed, guys with big hearts, guys with professionalism. And I would love to get on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and work the brothers over there. And PCW Ultra, like that crowd is just electric. And I would just love to be, I don't care if I'm opening match for the whole entire card. Like I just want to be a part of that, that kind of atmosphere where it's like 200 plus people just watching you, losing their mind. And then being in the locker room with solid names like, Hammerstone and Jacob Fatu and Toa Leona, all great guys, like super down to earth, super easy to talk to.
Oh yeah. And especially, what's the angle for you? What promotions would you like to sign with? Is this something you look at kind of Wrestling Japan or AEW, WWE, Impact? Is there any promotions that you would want to go to?
I'm definitely open. Like I wanna have wrestled everywhere at least once. And I would love to do something with Impact. I would love to do something with MLW. And I would love to do something with AEW. Definitely, like long term, I would like to be on WWE and have that on my resume and work with them and work with the great guys they have over there, and like experience the whole travel town to town, wrestling 5 nights a week. Like I feel like a lot of opportunity comes in that field of work.
And also too, what's the list of guys you like to wrestle in the future? Who's Inferno's hit list? Who'd you like to wrestle?
Toa Leona, great guy, super fun to talk to, super humble, but I love his fire in the ring. Like when he gets in there, like that big smile is just gone. His eyes just fire up, and he's just running guys over like nobody's business. I would love to wrestle him. Chris Masters, I've seen him around a couple of times. Carlito, like I saw him at the last Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Just huge, tremendous, super chill, super easy to talk to, and like his chops were just phenomenal. I was like, how do you hit so loud? Like the guy flew across the ring, but like it sounded like you slapped him with the sheet of metal. Like, what's up with that? He's like, oh, I just keep my wrist loose, just lay it in there. And I was like, okay, cool. Can we wrestle? Trying to think who else. Slice Boogie. When he gets better, I know he's out right now from a torn ACL or a torn Achilles, something of that nature. But our opposing personalities would definitely be a dogfight in the ring. His brawler style, my powerhouse style. Tyler Bateman at some point. I would like to go face to face with him. Super talented, super experienced, and again, it's like me stepping out of my comfort because this is a guy who's got power, speed, and can fly across the ring like he's 140 pounds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And especially that'd be cool to see Bateman matches, because those will be matches I like to see. Hopefully in the future, man. Again, fingers crossed. But
God willing, yeah.
Exciting. That'll be really, really exciting to watch. And with the last final 2 questions I have, what you've been through in your career, what you've been doing, and if someone's watching this and wants to be a wrestler, wants to be in the business, what advice would you give to someone that wants to be a professional wrestler?
It's not easy, first and foremost. But my advice would be take your fitness seriously. Get in shape, look your best. Image is very important in this sport. Be open to feedback, and learn how to negotiate with promoters and negotiate with bookers, because a lot of guys want X amount per booking, but it comes down to, what do you bring to the table? Like, how much tickets do you sell? How many promos do you cut for my show? How many times do you post my flyer? How's your demeanor? What's your image like? And those are things that I've learned fast, is being able to talk to promoters and negotiating with them and keeping a calm, cool, level demeanor. Like, even when they tell you no, and you're going to hear no like 99% of the time. And that's where a lot of guys make their mistake. Go, well, I'm not coming back anymore. And it's like, no is just no for now. It's not no forever.
Yeah.
Like, learn to build your case. And people want to see results. Like, promoters want to see a reason to keep hiring you. Essentially it's a job interview every show you go there. And that would be my advice. Take your image seriously. Like, don't show up. A lot of it's unfortunate. A lot of guys just show up in like torn clothing, like they just rolled out of a Netflix session. But it's like, you don't have to put on a suit, but a nice pair of jeans and a nice t-shirt and some nice shoes with that don't have holes in them where your toes aren't sticking out will really speak a lot to you, because you may look great. You may have the six pack. You may be 6'3". You may be great on the mic, but a promoter's gonna look at you and go, well, if he was my champion, would I want the guy in the torn shoes and the baggy sweats that are faded to be representing me, or the guy who's showing up in like the nice slacks and a polo, or the nice jeans and a nice t-shirt? Like, what's a better representation of me?
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. Like, a lot of guys just show up like, well, I'm here, and like they reek of cigarettes and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's like, homie, God bless you. I love you. Like, cologne is not expensive. Gum is not expensive. I get it. You smoke. Hey, man, to each his own. But carry yourself in a professional way. Like, we're all friends. Yes, I've known you for X amount of years, but like, I don't want to see you in your pajamas. You wouldn't show up to your day job in your pajamas. Bless your heart. Like, I feel the image will get you far a lot. Because everything else, like if a promoter looks at you and goes, well, he's not the best talker on the mic, but he looks great. He's never showed up looking like a bum. Either A, we work on him talking on the mic, or B, we find him someone that can do the talking for him. Like, certain things can be accommodated towards. But if you're showing up with your beard all over the place, and you haven't had a haircut in 6 months, well, there's not much we could do there.
Yeah, definitely true. Definitely true. Great advice, especially, because there's been times that you're right. You come across some wrestlers and it's like, oh wow, okay, that's what they're gonna show up as. But yeah, it happens. Yeah. But great advice, and and especially the last question, if someone's watching this and they haven't seen you wrestle, but they are going to in the future, what can the fans expect to see Inferno Abdul Kader in the ring?
Definitely gonna expect a lot of action. Expect a lot of fire. Expect to see a fight. Expect to see me go in there and give it my all. And that's how I treat every match that I have. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna go in there. I'm gonna connect with the crowd. I'm gonna, if some, like, I think at my OCCW match, my last one that I had, there was a basketball team, high school basketball team, and there were like two kids kind of just sitting off to the side, and like they weren't feeling it. And it's like, those are the kids where it's like, no, you are going to smile. You are going to be happy. Like, I'm going to come connect with you. And like, I walked through the crowd and like stuck my hand out and shook it. And they looked up like, oh, hello. And I was like, hey, how's it going? Like, good to have you here. And like, they opened up, you know, and that's, I definitely want to inspire people. I think my favorite moments after any wrestling match is when the kids walk up with their parents, like, oh, can I please have a picture of you? You were so cool. Like, my son really likes you. Like, that's the stuff that, because I have a 13-year-old sister. So it's like, that's the stuff that really resonates with me. Curtain sometime, and if the people are close enough to the curtain when I'm waiting for my music to go off, I hear the kids, it's like the coolest feeling ever. And it's very like humbling to know that I'm inspired.
Oh yeah, especially with the fans and the kids and everyone's cheering for you. This game ain't better than that, you know, cheering for your name. So it's definitely awesome. And you know, again, ladies and gentlemen, if he's in your town, again, dude, thank you so much for being on the pod, man. Just very happy to finally have you on. It's been so much fun, man.
No problem. No problem. Thank you.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you see a flyer and he's in your town, I suggest you go buy a ticket and watch this gentleman wrestle, because definitely not going to regret it. You know, definitely puts on a show, and one of the best wrestlers out there right now doing it. So again, Inferno, thank you so much. And you know, before we wrap up, you know, is there anything you want to let the fans know what you got going on? Any bookings, any social media where the fans could find you?
Best way to find me is Instagram, lion_in_motion. And as far as show wise goes, I'll be debuting at RPW January 7th, and I'll be defending my TWE championship on January 14th up in Chatsworth, and I'll be defending against Mikey O'Shea at the American Legion Post 716 on January 28th. And nothing but just gratitude towards the fans for coming in and paying to see us and buying our merch and everything. Like, we're in business because of you guys. So thank you very much. Your time and your contributions mean a lot to us. And thank you again for having me. Really appreciate the time to sit here and connect with you and talk to you.
So much.
Yeah,
And
thank you
so much. Of course, and thank you for being on. And you know, had so much fun. So much fun. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll put everything down, the links, all social media, where you can find this man, where you can follow him on social media. I'll put it right down in the description down below. And again, Inferno, thank you so much. It's been so much fun. And hopefully we do this again in the future, and see you again. So again, I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone else watching. And give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And just thank you for all the watchers and listeners for watching Championship Online Podcast. And that's going to do it for us. We'll see you guys here next time at Championship Online Pod.
Awesome.